Hey everybody, it's the Modern Native. I am going to be doing a survival challenge tonight, and it is surviving the night with nothing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using only Deadfall, and I have the start of it behind me. And I'm going to set up a shelter that will shelter me from the wind, if there's any rain, and it just gives you an idea of what you can do if you find yourself lost in the woods and you have nothing. No tools, no equipment, no way to start a fire, and you have to figure out how to manage the night in freezing temperatures with just what you wore for the day, which I'm wearing some layers. It's a sleeveless shirt, a thermal, and a hoodie, and down below I have my boxers, thermal underwear, and a pair of pants. I'm not going to have the new jacket that I got from my aunt. I'm not going to use anything else. I'm just going to be setting up a spot where I can sit and chill out for the night. So I hope you guys enjoy and learn something. See, the wife is over there. She's got her fire. We haven't had a shelter the past few nights because it hasn't been raining. I am close enough that if it does start to rain, I'll run over and set up the tarp for her and help her set it up. But I am not going to be going into camp other than that. But mine is over here. It's just a fallen log leaned up against a tree, and I put an extra branch for bracing. And as I go, I will be building more onto this, making a decent shelter to protect me against the elements. Alrighty, so you guys know how I've mentioned before that these survival challenges aren't really, these overnight survival challenges really aren't a challenge, because most of the time, unless you are in severely inclement weather, it's not going to be that big of a deal for you to handle one overnight out in the woods. So I wanted to show you guys how simple and easy it is. If all you need is a wind block and just a little bit of shelter, I literally just threw this together. And that, I mean that literally. I threw things on this pile to just give myself a wind block. I'm going to be nestled in between these two trees. Now, this log is a bit heavier than I would recommend, but that is why I braced it. So all I did was quite literally, this isn't done yet, I'm going to keep working on it, but I'm just showing you guys right now. I leaned up a bunch of sticks against this log, crisscrossed them over each other, and I'm literally just throwing stuff onto this, and as it sticks, it sticks. So I've just been grabbing handfuls and tossing it there and building it up. It's just a debris pile. And I'm going to keep working on this side to fill it up. Stay tuned. So this tree, this pine tree, you see it underneath the poplar? This pine tree got knocked down by this poplar. So it's actually a really good find. It is technically a deadfall. So if I get lucky enough, I can grab this branch and pull it backwards. Oh, I may have to step on it, which I can't do while holding the phone. But if I just break these branches off, I don't need any tools or anything else, and that's going to add a nice insulation layer. The wife spotted it when she was getting firewood, which I would have seen it because I was coming down here anyway, but it's just a good point. And there's another down tree right there. So this would all be useful for a survival shelter while following the regulations of not cutting anything green. Alrighty, so I added more. We got a nice overhang on the front, and it's pretty well and solid. I mean, the wife's back there with just a light, and it's barely coming through. She's getting some firewood. And like I said, I didn't even technically need to set this up, but I'm doing this to show you guys what you can do. If you have no tools, you find yourself lost on one of these trails, and you just need to set something up. Luckily, I found me and the wife found the pine that was down, and these partially green branches was cut by somebody maybe about a week ago. And it's still green and bendy. So, I mean, this is plenty of shelter. It's a nice little debris hut. I could keep throwing it on there. Not too worried about it, though. And I'm going to chill right in here. Can't decide if I want to sit over here against this tree or against this one. But if that does give, I kind of don't want the end to come down and smack me. If I'm leaning against this tree, even if it comes down, it's going to drop straight down, and the tree I'm leaning against is going to kick it out sideways. So it's not actually going to land on me. Like I said, it is a little heavier than I would suggest, but it is what I had, so I braced it to just be a little extra safe. So I can sit on this hump, because if it rains, the rain will go around me. That's a low spot. This is the high point. And then this is the low spot over here. So the rain would literally just flow right around me, even if it was like torrential downpour. And I can still keep an eye on the camp and the wife and the creepy looking dog staring at me. That's a creepy sight for you guys right there. His eyes are coming through.
Oh, good. Now they can see that he actually looks like a bear at night.
Yeah. Those eyes.
I'm so afraid of hunters because my dog looks like a fucking bear.
Yeah. And Creature is close enough. If he really wants to, he can come over and cuddle with Dad. Creature.
Come. Around. Come.
Come see Dad.
Go to Daddy.
Not you, monster.
I know.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh. Just knocked the camera right out of my hand. Yeah, see, he can cuddle with Dad, and that's fine.
And he can pull his line a lot more. He can fix it.
Yeah. So, if he wants to, he can cuddle. He can cuddle with Dad. Like, yes, this is a survival technique. He would keep me warmer, but it's not that it's not that he's keeping me warmer, it's that I'm keeping him warmer. And that's what he wants. Sitting right on Dad's lap, like a brat. A punk. So, this should be a fun survival challenge. What do you think, Creature? You like the survival challenge? Creepy eyes in the background. So, settling down for the night. Shelter is good enough. I mean, fine enough for me. I was considering doing one of those where I just sat in the middle of the woods with nothing. No shelter, nothing. I got a spider web going across me. But, gonna be settling down for the night and just relaxing, leaning against the tree, and I think the boys might be cuddling with Mom tonight, but Creature will probably come over and be like, Dad, why aren't you in bed? And then lay with me for a bit. But one good thing is, all of tomorrow's firewood is here. Look at that. I collected it all. It's all ready. That's what I'm going to do with the shelter. I'm going to break it down, make it into firewood, and be all set, because I already collected it, so might as well use it. But I just wanted to share this with you guys as a little tip, and kind of pointing out the fact that overnight survival challenges aren't really a challenge. I mean, it's one overnight. Deal with the discomfort, and that's all it is dealing with the discomfort of not having a shelter or a bed or, whatever your normal sleeping arrangement is. Creature's coming over to see what I'm doing. I didn't have the light on this whole time. He's like, Dad, why aren't you over here? So, it's just one of those things, how I always talk about how the overnight survival challenges aren't actually a challenge unless it's severe inclement weather. Because I didn't use any tools, didn't use any cordage, no knives, no hatchets, not even making a fire. just sitting in my wind block to radiate my heat back at me. That's it. It's super simple. If all you have to do is survive until daylight, so that way you can continue on the trail and find your way if you're lost, it's not that hard. Because it's better to settle down when it's dark instead of trying to find your way, even with a headlamp. If you have lost your way off the trail and you're lost, there's no point in trying to find your way when you have no way to navigate or tell which way you're going. Just settle down, relax, know you're going to be okay for the overnight, and find your way in the morning. Because you may be 10 feet off the trail and you don't even know it. But if you're wandering around at night, you could end up a couple of miles away from the trail before you know what happened. And you put yourself in a worse situation than you were in the first place if you just calmed down, relaxed, found yourself a spot to chill out where you can be safe, and figure it out in the morning. So with that, see you guys in the morning. So when you're in a situation like the scenario I've been talking about, one of the biggest things to remember is that it's not necessarily about getting sleep, so you don't have to be comfortable enough to get sleep. You just have to be comfortable enough to rest and conserve energy and keep yourself safe. It's really what it's about, because sitting up against this tree, probably not going to get much sleep. I can sleep just about anywhere, so it's after midnight now. I just moved around a little bit. I set up the tarp shelter for the wife just in case. It smells like rain. But it's not about sleep. It's about rest, conserving energy, and keeping your morale up enough so that way you can be ready to figure out your situation in the morning. So, just another little thought I had for you. You conserve your body heat, you conserve your energy, and just try to relax. Because sleep is probably not going to happen, especially if you're in a survival situation, a true survival situation, where you found yourself in a moment of, shit, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know where I am, I lost the trail. So you find yourself a spot that's sheltered, you tuck in, keep your body crunched up together. It'll help you conserve your heat, and even in cold climates, it'll help you make it through the night. That's what it's all about whenever it comes to these overnight survival challenges. It's all about just how would you survive at night or throughout the night to make it until morning. So, see you guys in the morning. Creature came to visit me. He's my big bud. Well, it's morning. Shelter made it fine. I made it fine. And it's not too bad. This was a good survival challenge. It wasn't that bad. The rain held off. Got a little windy. But my shelter survived. And I survived. And that's what it's all about. I can never get this thing to sit straight. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to show you the shelter real quick. In the light. Well, semi-light. Just remember this, when you're in a situation like this, it's just about surviving the night and making it to morning, so that way you can find your way and make it through the night. So here it is in the daylight. It's just enough to block some wind, give me a little bit of shelter if it rained, which I got lucky it didn't. It was just what I needed, just a debris shelter, something to keep me safe on an overnight. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And I hope it gave you a little bit of perspective when it comes to the survival challenges. And remember, until next time, get out there, be a native, go beast.